The scenario to be played is Destruction. It has a 12x6 rectangle placed in the middle of the board. It has the kill box in effect. You will then also place 2 objectives on opposite corners. You get 1 point for destroying or removing from play your opponent's objective. You get 1 control point for controlling the zone and 2 for dominating. First person to 5 points wins the game.
Alright, this is Warmachinist, everyone. You're looking at my pairing list right now. It's a couple of tier lists. I feel like they complement each other real well. Runes of War is mainly for Hordes factions. Runeshaper's feat's real good against Hordes. And the one I played today is Calandra's Tier 3 Evolutionary Elementalism. Features 11 beasts, and there's a large discussion on the prior tier press boards about that guy right there, the Winter Troll, and how well does he do on the list, and hopefully we'll get a chance to explore some of that today. Big benefits for this is the Krielstone starts with Fury if you're playing Runeshapers, and usually I like to do that, but not in the all beast lists. And the biggest, of course, advantage is they advance deploy, and the light beast costs 1 less. So that's the list. I'm using fuel cache so that we can manage a little bit of that Fury, because even at 7, it's a lot to work.
Hey everybody, Taodark here. For the Advanced Maneuver Scramble, I decided to take 2 Khador lists. I haven't actually ever played Khador, and I thought it would be a good opportunity, and Butcher3 and Sorcerer 2 always kind of sang for me, so those are the lists that I built up into this scramble. For the matchup that I'm being paired against with Trollbloods, I decided to actually go with the Butcher3 list. I was kind of looking at Runes of War as being kind of an issue for me, and I didn't know if necessarily Sorcerer could handle it, so that was kind of my main drive for taking it. But really just kind of the advantage of getting dropped against Calandra, I'm going to have this Iron Curtain of Devastators that I can screen Butcher with. And then for my objective, I took Effigy of Valor just because the amount of guys in there, I didn't want to have to worry about rally checks. So I got the roll to go first, and I opted to take first turn. I feel like this list really wants to get up the board as fast as possible, and as a prior troll player, I know that getting first turn, you really want to put your Fury into the stone before things start getting engaged. And I wanted to put him into a situation where I could potentially do some damage on 2. Deployment is relatively symmetrical with Kaozi on one side and Iron Fang Pikeman on the other. I took standard Iron Fang Pikeman, although I would have actually liked to take Black Dragons, but I am borrowing this Khador army, and he didn't have Black Dragons, so I didn't have that opportunity. And then the Devastators are going to be near Butcher almost the entire game. I'm basically going to have them advance up and then be in base to base so that Butcher can be behind. There is Madeline in the list. She seems kind of actually out of place with the fact that I used the Devastators as a screen wall because Butcher can advance a 3, but she may play into a later turn.
One of the nice things about this list is the initial deployment is relatively simple and quick. I want to keep Calandra in a position where she can control as many beasts as possible and possibly make use of this hill for defensive purposes.
For my advanced deployment, I had the Widowmakers near the forest so they could potentially gain use of camouflage, and then I had Ears on closer to Calandra so that she might be able to knock off anything that might come up.
Okay, as easy as the initial deployment is, the advanced deployment's a little more complicated. I like the Winter Troll dead center in the middle of the beast load. I think that lets him make best use of his spray, his animus, as well as can screen him with some of the other trolls. He's running 2 Devastators, so my Slag Trolls, even though I've got them lined up to shoot at the Devastators, I'm not exactly confident that they're going to do a whole lot of work at dice minus, I think, 12 maybe. So I'm trying to get some guys into the forest. I don't have any Pathfinder in this army, so pushing them forward on advanced deploy is kind of nice. And as I check my control, I'm not going to be able to line all the beasts out, so 1 Pyre Troll is going to go in behind, which will be useful in passing out his animus for any melee charges, and I try to get as many beasts near that fuel cache as possible.
Khador, turn 1. So looking across the list, it's the Elemental Communalist. There's a lot of light beasts, but not many of them get very far. Their shooting is relatively down to 12 with respect to the Slags, getting additional dice on things like my Devastators. But even in that scenario, I really just don't feel like there's anything on the table that can really hurt the Devastators. And with the recent errata that Devastators can slam and not be forced to open up when they do so, I'm really kind of putting them into that role of being an iron curtain for Butcher to advance up the field so he's not going to get shot to pieces, and setting them up so that they could either slam targets to knock things down, like if I get an opportunity where I can get a charge on Calandra with Butcher, set up a slam that the light beast will knock over Calandra and negate her defense. Or in a situation where anything tries to engage me, I will just use Bulldoze to knock them out of the way. The Widowmakers advance up into the woods. I'm just trying to use the advantage of camouflage, and then the Widowmaker marksman who has stealth just kind of stands up next to them. Taking a shot here, I was almost certain that I was out of range, but I was actually using the shot to measure distance so that I could see if he was going to have an opportunity to shoot back. Butcher assigned one focus to one of the Devastators. The Golden Lord assigns another, so that they both can run, and then Butcher will activate and he will actually energize them forward, again maintaining that that iron curtain. But basically what I'm just trying to do is I am trying to get the field as quick as possible. Butcher needs to be delivered in a way that he's either going to use his feet to flashing blade through a whole bunch of light beasts, or set it up so that he might be able to get a charge and suck in Calandra and get attack on her. So just advancing up, energizing, with the fact that there's no real terrain in the center. I'm not terribly concerned about keeping one of the Argus back for Pathfinder, but at the same time I'm not going to necessarily throw them away. And then I set the Kayazi up to run up, and they're basically just going to set it up so that when I get an opportunity they might be able to charge through and use the mini feat to get over objectives and to get gang on some of the light beasts.
Okay, Trollbloods turn 1. I played this list once before on a channel, and this is always my favorite. This is where I'm going to attempt to get drifts, which never seems to work out for me, right? Well, this one sort of works out for me. We get a drift, but it hits Clamjack, which, you know, basically might as well not hit anything. But we'll keep trying this philosophy of throwing those drifts out there. I think this other Pyre Troll is actually going to be my first drift kill on an opening turn in probably 2 months. So this guy's a little MVP. Anyways, I've played this list, not this incarnation of the list, but I played Calandra's tier on the channel once before, and we timed out in a really good game against Barnabas. This is the first time on channel running this list with 11 warbeasts, and I really think it brings a lot of diversity and, frankly, fun to the list, playing with this many warbeasts. My main way to manage Fury is to have him frenzy. I'm not a huge proponent of trying to get things around a Soothing Song. Soothing Song to me is your beasts make their frenzy check and you want to pull Fury off them afterwards. That's when I pretty much would use that spell. What I'm doing right now is I'm making sure I'm going to get at least 7 Fury out, because I'm going to spend Calandra's stack on the first turn. I do that whether I go first or second every time I play her. Any Troll player that tells you they don't want to go first is probably fibbing, or the board is just really set up for them on the other side, because Troll player always wants to go first to get as many Fury on the stone as possible. So, you know, I had 3 drifts, 2 of them actually landed on targets of Taodark, so we can't complain too much. He has pretty much stated gleefully that the Clamjacks are not going to open up in this game, so I don't have a whole lot of hopes of taking those guys out. On Calandra's feet turn, I'm kind of curious, could the Slags take those guys down? You know, you're getting 4 dice, rerolling 1s and 2s, so you're going to get some spikes. It's just it's a lot of armor to chew through and a lot of boxes. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. The Winter Troll is going to put his Animus on the Slag Troll that's behind the Storm Troll. The reason for this is if Butcher goes nuts or tries to go nuts on this turn and pulling a bunch of my beasts, I was hoping that the way he'd pull them in, that maybe this guy and his Animus will be out and then Butcher stationaries himself afterwards. I mean, that's always a fear when you play against Butcher3. I try to set my guys up so that I'm going to have a pretty good retaliatory strike, even if he yanks a bunch of guys in. The other thing is he's got 2 jam elements in his army. He's got Chaosies and he's got Iron Fangs. So I'm expecting a jam to come pretty hard on his turn. And again, that Freezer Animus might come into play. So Calandra's going to put up Starcrossed after he gets exalted. And put the rest of what she's got on the stone. And come forward so that she keeps her beast in control. If you ever make terrain, try to make hills that have a little gentle slope. Steep slope hills are just a pain. Just a little aside right here. I make a mistake here with my Krielstone. He's got all his snipers on his left side of the board, my right. All these guys should have filed in on the hill. I don't know why I sent them off to this direction, but I basically just said, here, take out my Krielstone. Alright, we'll see what goes out.
Khador turn 2. So I feel like the Storm Troll in the zone is actually a bait for me to try and open up my Jacks, or to get Butcher to stand out into some place where he can get shots off on me and spend focus. I will oblige him by attempting to advance and swing at him, but I'm not necessarily going to devote any effort toward that. It's a scenario where I don't think I'm going to get a full effort out of it. I contemplated about giving some focus or handing some focus out, but I think in this scenario I'm just going to camp on the whole stack. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm just trying to measure out to see if I'm going to have the 6 inches from Butcher to advance him up, stay behind one of the Devastators, and still be able to reach past and swing and onto the Storm Troll. My opponent has put the stones out, so I'm going to oblige him by taking a shot at them with the Marksman. I do kill off 1. Though I might be able to kill off 1 or 2 more of the Stonekeepers, it would require me to advance the Widowmakers up, and I'm not necessarily ready to trade them out yet. So I'm just going to advance them onto the hill for elevation and keep one into the forest and see if I could shoot at the Storm Troll and knock some of his spirit out. For me, the Kyazi and the Iron Fangs are going to be an engagement tool. I want to get as many of these light beasts engaged as possible because I want to set it up so that way in his next turn he's going to have to spend activations to clear. Right now we're going through with trying to see if I can get a charge off of the lead Kyazi next to the objective. To where I've placed a proxy base without clipping the objective, just to make sure that the charge can happen. It does, so I've got 2 charges on that Pyre, and then the others are just going to flat out run in an effort to try and engage. They're going to fall short, but I've got a scenario where I've got several high defense Kyazi that are basically going to be flooding the zone and trying to surround the objective so that there's going to be any charges against the objective. And then they're going to stay relatively far enough away that they're not going to get clipped by an AoE on a 3-inch AoE on the objective from a Pyre. So I do manage to get the charges off, and I do get some damage on the Pyre Troll, not enough to take out a system, and in return I catch my Kyazi on fire. I was hoping for a little bit more damage out of them with the gang bonus, but it is what it is. Again, with the Iron Fangs, I'm basically doing the same concept. I want to give them a chance to charge and engage the Pyres and the Slags. Just trying to shut down a lot of the shooting potential on the following turn. The rest of the unit runs. The officer is going to do the mini feat, and basically what I'm just trying to do is I'm trying to run and get into a place. With the run, I'm automatically stopping my advance, but it replaces and gives them shield wall, so those that are in base to base can be in base to base. The one sitting in the center right now is there because he failed a charge, and then I have the officer in the standard run in as well. And here's actually, I'm going to actually end up screwing up here after I take my attacks on the Pyre and the Slag. Because I ran my actions end and I can't take benefit of the move of the mini feat. So you'll see here where I'm going to actually shimmy the officer in the standard, and that's not an accurate play. The officer in the standard should have stayed where they are, even more so because the officer does not benefit from his mini feat. The Kovnik runs, and that's again just trying to engage the Slag Troll, shut him down, threaten that, hey, if you want to come over you can, but you're going to take a free strike. Iris runs to the wall because I don't want her to get shot, and then we advance up the Devastator, and then we advance up Butcher in an effort to see if I can get a swing in, but I am just barely out of reach, so he's not going to take any swings. I could have energized it for one, but you know, what's the real point of it? I would rather sit on the focus and just camp through the next turn, advance up the other Kodiak, again base to base, touching for that Iron Curtain. Dog advances up, just trying to put him into a place, and then we have the Madeline advance up, and then the Golden Lord.
Alright, Trollbloods turn 2. I have a ton of reach models on my left flank and high defensive models on my right flank, and a ton of armor and the Butcher sitting dead center in the middle of the table. He's done a decent job engaging the left side models. I've got a lot free in the middle, especially because the one guy is stationary on the Winter Trolls Animus, so that's kind of nice. So right now, I'm going to formulate a plan, and the thing I want to do is put some pressure on Butcher. He's on a full camp, I believe, but I have my feet, so rather than see if I can take out a Clamjack with my feet on a feet turn, I'll see if I can take out Butcher. So to this effect, I'm right now, the first thing I was contemplating is knocking down the Clamjacks in order to shoot the Butcher. Then I read the spell a little more closely, and you have to actually do damage to the Clamjack to knock him down with Force Blow. So I decided that that's probably not going to be my best course of action. The nice thing is that the Clamjacks do not have reach, and they're not quite being engaged by the Storm Troll. So the new plan formulates in that one of Calandra's, I think, absolute best spells she has on her entire card is Befuddle. So with the Runebearer and Calandra, I figure I can get both those Clamjacks out of the way, and that'll expose Butcher to a whole bunch of nasty stuff. So Runeshaper is going to come up first. He's going to do his one time a game, cast one of Calandra's spells. He's going to cast Befuddle. Clamjacks do not have, we're checking to make sure it's not engaged, Clamjacks do not have a very big defense, so I think I need a 3. So we're going to get that, and we're going to promptly have Clamjack turn, face his rear to the fight, and move out. I'm also kind of trying to block the War Dog from any type of counter charge type shenanigans. So now it's Calandra's turn. She's going to come forward, and she's going to make sure that she befuddles the Devastator, aka Clamjack, on the right side and move it away. She's able to successfully do so. Now Butcher's exposed, and I have 4 Fury sitting on Calandra. Thought about putting Star-Crossed up, but then I figured Calandra has another ability where it lets you re-roll missed attacks or re-roll damaged. And I figured it'd be better to have 4 what's called Fate Blessed for this assassination run than anything else. So I'll keep all 4 of that Fury in order to effectively get 4 rerolls at some point during this turn. Alright, so now that we have that done, the plan has to be, what can we get onto the Butcher? What can shoot him? What can melee him? And keep an eye on the Slag in the dead center of the board that had the Winter Troll Animus up on him, because he's going to be my melee beast. If I can get him last with a melee charge, I can get him up to pile 15. And he's within reach of that fuel cache, so he'll charge for free. So everything in this turn now is going to be about how do I best free up the models around that particular model, and can I do any damage to Butcher. If the first couple times I try to deal damage to Butcher I can't do much anything, I'm going to have to rethink this plan some. And these attacks on the side, basically this Slag Troll is trying to get rid of the guy that was engaging the Pyre Troll. The Pyre Troll is going to try to get rid of the guys that are engaging the Storm Troll, which would allow me to walk the Winter Troll up under Calandra's feet and see what I can do about getting Butcher maybe stationary. So Pyre Troll goes, he's going to hit the outside guy. It's going to catch all three, and I believe it also sets the objective and the Storm Troll on fire as well. So first we're rolling damage before we put the red puff balls out. I'm re-rolling. The way Fate Bless works is, once I roll on her feet, I can re-roll 1s and 2s. So if I make a roll and I see a 3, for example, and I need a high roll, so I had a 3, 1, and a 2. And rather than use the feet and re-roll those 1s and 2s, I use the Fate Blessed and re-roll the whole roll. Then I haven't used the feet yet, and if I have another roll with 1s and 2s, I can up it up a little bit. So I was able to clear out 2 of the guys that are jamming right there, and not real happy that one guy's alive and that one guy is still able to engage my Storm Troll. So the Storm Troll is going to not be able to put anything on Butcher, but he's going to power attack throw this guy out of the way so I can walk my Winter Troll up. And the funny thing about this is I do successfully throw him, but when he throws, I throw him into a different Khador model, a different Iron Fang Pikeman, so Shield Wall reactivates basically, and he actually lives through the boosted throw on the feet turn. I think I might kill one guy with collateral. So now he's not in Shield Wall. Just the irony of how the timing all worked out. But he is knocked down, and that's important in this turn. All right, so I've cleared up a little bit of a path. There's a little bit of space, and now it's going to be time for the Winter Troll to prove his worth in the list. I've been playing this list without a Winter Troll for about a month now. The only reason for that was didn't own a Winter Troll, so I finally have gotten myself a Winter Troll, and this is his 3rd game, and I will just let you know that he has proven his worth every single time. He's about to spray down the Butcher, and on Calandra's feet turn, there's all types of different chances to roll stationary on this. We measured to make sure I'm not catching my Storm Troll. He was out, and sure enough, we hit Butcher and crit stationary. So now we're going to boost. I think Madeline's hanging out back there, so we're going to make sure we boost and get Madeline. And then we're going to save 1 to boost damage on Butcher himself. So, but the main thing is Butcher's now stationary. So these light beasts, in the way I like to play them with the Runeshapers, is the Runeshapers come up like tremor bombs and knock things down so that the light beasts don't have to boost a hit. Because on her feet turn, all the beasts really want to be doing is boosting damage. So he's successfully frozen the Butcher, got a couple of points on him, and now every single beast that I have is going to get a chance to. That was me checking to make sure I am going to be able to charge them at the end. Is going to make sure that they get a chance to throw some shots into them. The Slags are especially important for this reason. So this Storm Troll on the right is able to walk out, and he's going to unengage the Pyre Troll. So he goes and kills the Kayazi. Remember, the other Kayazi is stationary, so he is still kind of in the way. I mean, even though stationary, a base is a base and it takes up space. So this Pyre Troll is going to go. He's going to walk out of the stationary combat. He's put his Animus up on the the Slag Troll in the middle, and he's going to shoot the Butcher. So Butcher's on fire. I'm going to boost damage. I think I get a couple points. I'm not certain. None of these beasts at dice minus 12 are expecting to do more than a couple if I get a lucky spike. I have a much better chance of lucky spikes, of course, doing to be able to reroll the 1s and 2s. These slags are the ones I really need to do work. So right now, Butcher is now corroded and on fire, and I'm going to be putting some boosted Slag Troll shots into him. Did 1 point, and this finally we get a nice little spike there. I need 3 more. So I mean, we're getting there. We're whittling them down. The elements are coming for the Butcher. Fury at this point is starting to go everywhere on the table. This Slag Troll is going to come up. He's got a line of sight to the Butcher. Just double checking, and he's going to take 2 shots at the Butcher. At this point, it's really all or nothing. There's no point in saving anything for rerolls. I'm going to save 1 Fury on Calandra for when I attack with my melee beast, because he's going to be a POW 15. So I think we'll get another point of damage on Butcher, and he's about at half now, and I've got about maybe 3 or 4 more beasts left. So the Storm Troll is going. He's going to get out of the way of the charge lane of the Slag Troll. He's going to shoot the Butcher. His Lightning Leap goes to the Clamjack, which is not going to do anything, because apparently I've also found out that Clamjacks, they're not really shields. So if you hit them in the back, their armor is the same as if you hit them in the front. So that kind of pretty much put me all in on trying to kill Butcher. I believe I've got 2 beasts left. I've got a Pyre Troll, and I've got a Slag Troll. So the Pyre Troll is going to go. It's going to boost to try to get a little bit more damage on him. He was unsuccessful in getting more damage on him, but I've made room now so my Krielstone can run up and pop for strength. So he's going to make sure that when that Slag Troll charges, that he's within, I think, a range of 7 at this point. The rest of my Krielstone just moves up. I kill a stationary Chaos Eco, I guess because I can. And it's all going to come down to what can a POW 15 Slag Troll do to a Butcher with about 8 hit points left. So we double check, triple check. He is within the fuel cache. There's no longer being contested. He charges for free. Here he comes. And so we roll the first one, which is automatically boosted, of course, due to a charge. Reroll, do only like 1 point of damage. At this point I'm getting really nervous. So we boost the second initial. I reroll with Fate Blessed, and we get a huge spike. So there you go. 24 Fury on the table at the time of Butcher's death.